This is it. I'm at Lake Texoma for my first solo backpacking trip. It's going to be a great weekend. It's a great day out here. I can feel the air is already getting cooler. It's supposed to get down into the mid 40s tonight, but we'll be all right. Got my 35 to 40 degree sleeping bag with me and nice fleece jacket. Plus I brought my base layers, so we'll be just nice and cozy. Have a little bit of a hike here, but it's only about a mile. It feels bigger because I haven't been here as many times, but when you look at it on the map, it's only about a mile. So I don't think it's going to take long at all. My plan was to get here at 4:30 and sunset's at 5:30. So that would give me an hour to hike 1 mile, which should really take only 20 to 30 minutes. So that would have been fine, but got out the door a little late, and with traffic, I didn't get here until 5:15. So we'll be hiking in the dark a little bit, but that's okay. I got my headlamp, and it's not the first time I've done night hiking here. The backpack's exceptionally heavy this time, for obvious reasons. A 2-day trip, I had to bring twice as much food, but it's gonna be a fantastic weekend. Really looking forward to it. I parked just outside of Cedar Bayou Marina. The plan is to hike up to Lost Loop Junction and head up into the Lost Loop. And if I can successfully get in there without getting lost this time, we'll camp maybe somewhere out near the end of it. We'll just see what kind of spots we find. I'm expecting to have some pretty good views, really high up, but not necessarily access to the water, but that'll be okay. On the second day, I may move somewhere else where we'll have better access to the water. All right, so I reached kind of a halfway point. I'm right at the junction of the Cross Timbers Trail and the Lost Loop Trail, so I'm gonna head up into the Lost Loop. And I just noticed there's a beautiful full moon behind me. It's kind of hard to see here, but anyways, that first stretch was really rough, really got me winded. But now we're hiking up the Lost Loop. So this is one spot I've never been. So let's see what we find. Okay, well, I made it to camp one way or another. I went up Lost Loop and didn't work out. Got lost again, so came back down and decided change of plans. Decided to head over to 5 Mile Camp. So when I got near 5 Mile Camp, I could see a light and I could see that there were people already there. So I decided to camp at a spot that we previously stayed at. Cameron, Alex, and Josh and I. So I'm going to call it Styrofoam Camp because the first time we stayed here, there was a gigantic block of styrofoam just sitting in the woods, and we used it for a table. It's no longer here, but I can see the styrofoam remnants all over the ground. But this should be a great place to camp. It's not perfectly flat, but for such a hilly area, it does give you a lot of fairly flat space. Several different places for tents. We were able to fit 4 of us here with tents last time, so, and there's a nice big established fire pit, so this will work nicely. Well, I've got camp all set up and fire made, cooking done, and I'm having some Mediterranean style grilled chicken wraps. I forgot to get tzatziki sauce, so I'm going to do it with this organic non-dairy ranch, and I think it'll be pretty good as well. I have all my chores done, finished dinner, got everything put away and set up. Now I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy the fire for a little while. And I also have this freeze-dried ice cream. That should be interesting. Give that a whirl. Well, I think it's time to call it a day. I'm just gonna sit out here for a few more minutes and enjoy the last few sparks of the fire, and then I'll go tuck in for the night. See you tomorrow. Good morning. I had a good night's sleep. I was very warm in my tent. I was actually surprised how warm I was. I believe it got down to 46 last night, but I had my base layer, t-shirt, outdoor pants, and this fleece jacket on inside of my 35 to 40 degree sleeping bag. And I had not guyed out the air vent sides of the tent just to keep it a little warmer in there. I was very warm, almost sweating. And it does not feel cold out here right now. It's a beautiful day, clear blue sky, and it's going to get up to the mid 70s again, and then tonight's going to be about 10 degrees warmer, mid 50s. So it's just going to be a beautiful trip. Yesterday was a little rough as far as the hike goes. There were some really big hills and my pack was excessively heavy. So I'm going to try to eat up a lot of that food like always and lighten the load. I just put some water on. I'm going to have a good cup of coffee and just some quick oatmeal. Lost loop didn't work out too well yesterday, and I just think it's not worth it. So my plan is I've decided to press on a little bit farther past 5 Mile Camp and try to get to Eagle's Roost. Should only be another half mile to a mile most. So I'll just make a quick breakfast here and then head over there. Eagle's Roost is mine for the taking. It's early in the day. Nobody else is out here yet unless somebody's already there. We'll find out when we get there.
I had to guy out the sides of my tent because there was quite a lot of condensation inside of there, so I'm just letting it air out a little bit. Tonight I may leave it guyed out. That's the normal configuration that I do. Just gives you really good ventilation, but I didn't do it last night because I wanted to keep it extra warm in there. I couldn't find my coffee, so I had to raid my MRE, which is really not supposed to be used until later tonight. And there was one coffee packet in there, so my plan was to just use half of it this morning and half of it tomorrow morning and just ration it that way, which is fine because normally I drink an organic decaf, so even a half of a regular coffee would be more caffeine than I'm used to. But I ended up finding my coffee stowed away inside of one of my cups, so we'll have all the coffee we want. All right, I'm all packed up, had my breakfast, and the plan is to hike over to Eagle's Roost and spend the rest of my trip there relaxing. It's still pretty early. It's just 10 o'clock, so I don't think anybody's going to be over there. It should be mine for the taking. So I think it's about a half mile. It'll be a mile at most, but shouldn't take long. I'm curious to see how rugged the terrain is going to be. Yes, I hope it's not as extreme as yesterday, because that's what I'm getting myself into to hike back out of on day 3. So, but the weather's beautiful. It feels really good. I think it's going to be a great hike, and we'll get some great views. See you there. Well, I've hiked a mile and I'm not at Eagle's Roost yet. These trails are so windy. It makes a mile as the crow flies turn into 2 or 3 miles. So a little ways left to go. Still about a quarter of the way or halfway until I get there. All right, we have some good news. Only a half mile left to Eagle's Roost. I think I'm gonna make it. The trail's flattened out a little bit, and it's a very welcome change because there was so much up and down for most of the way until now. Hopefully it'll stay more like this. I heard that the second half of this Cross Timbers Trail is a lot more flat than the first half, so maybe I've gotten past a lot of that hilly terrain. It's almost like you're mountain hiking. Trail snack. I've reached Eagles Roost. I'm happy to report that there wasn't too much up and down on the stretch between 5 Mile Camp and here. So I made it in record time. I'm gonna go ahead and get the camp set up pretty quick just to solidify my spot here and let people know I'm here. And then we'll just relax for the rest of the day. It's beautiful up here. Great view of the lake. I think it's gonna be a spectacular place to stay. Some clouds have crept in during my hike. I was hoping for a little bit more sun today, but the weather's supposed to be really good, 70s to 50s tonight. The clouds will stay and will ultimately lead to some rain and potential thunderstorms late tomorrow to tomorrow night, but I'll be long gone by then, so we should have a great time here. All right, well, I've got camp all set up. Just enjoying the view here for a minute and winding down from my hike. I'm actually pretty surprised at how high up this is. I guess they don't call it Eagles Roost for no reason. I mean, from watching videos of it, I thought it was high, but I didn't realize it was this high. So, pretty awesome view. I'll have to work on my fear of heights a little bit this camp. Just sit back from the edge a little bit. But I'm gonna just go see if I can get down to the water and refill my water bottles, filter some new water for today, and then we'll make some lunch. I'm gonna make some chicken flavored ramen with veggies, and I also brought a packet of chicken that I'm gonna add into there, add some protein. So as soon as this water boils, this should be ready. My plan today is to pretty much feast, because I need to eat all of this food up. There's no way I'm carrying the backpack with as much weight as I did on the way in when I hike out. I've got to lighten it up, so I'll just eat it all up. And I think the hike today was slightly better than yesterday. My pack already felt a little bit lighter, so if I can shed a lot more weight, that'll really help. Let that sit for a minute. Had a little extra water, so I'm gonna go ahead and make my second cup of coffee for the day. I'm actually behind. Usually I would have had 2 cups well before now. I need to catch up. All right, that ramen made me happy. I didn't expect it to be so good, but I think I was really hungry and I made a good choice with that. And I forgot that you make it in the cup, in the paper cup, so that's one less dish for me to wash. So I decided to break out the MRE in my happiness because these things actually have a lot of stuff in them. And if I wait until dinner to get into this, there's no way I'll eat it all. And it's also fun to go through and see what all is in here. So I'll get this stuff all out and I'll be able to have some snacks to start working on through the afternoon before dinner time. Okay, so comes with the nutrition label. Let's see, this is the heating pack, I'm assuming. Teriyaki beef steak. Okay, so like a beef jerky type of thing, looks like. Chili and macaroni. So, okay, so this is the main course. I got some vegetable crackers. Electrolyte drink, orange. That'll be interesting. Lemon poppy seed pound cake. Wow. I might have to go for that for dessert instead of the, I have another freeze-dried ice cream. I don't know if I'm going to go for that. I was only able to eat about half of it last night. You got your plastic spoon. Cheese spread with jalapenos. Interesting. That could go with the crackers. But I also have some really good jam in a tiny jar for the crackers. Maybe I'll try a little bit of each. Crushed red pepper. Hot beverage bag. I'm not crazy about the idea of eating things in plastic, but we'll see about that. Twizzlers. Very nice. And then we got this pouch with some seasonings and things. Here's that coffee that I almost used this morning. Maybe I'll use it tomorrow. Creamer, nice. Little towel to clean up with. Some sugar, yeah. Got some salt. Matches. And I think this is a towel that you get it wet and then it expands. And looks like some mint gum. So there you have it. That'll be my fun for the afternoon and evening. All right, I think I'm gonna go for the vegetable crackers with jalapeno cheese spread and some jam to go with my coffee. The coffee is nice and bold. It's a 3-scooper. Let's see if I can figure out how to get this open. Okay, yeah, not too bad. Heard that vacuum seal release when I opened it, so that's a good sign. Okay. Let's see if we can break these a little bit. I think it's gonna be pretty windy up here, I can already tell. I knew that about hills from past experience, so we're pretty high up here. I don't know if I'm gonna have a fire for that reason. We'll have to see. I don't want to get blown all over the place. Right now I gotta protect my food from blowing away. Let's see, can I read instructions? Tear at corner, all right. All right, let's give it a shot. I think I'll use the spoon for spreading the jam, and the jalapeno cheese spread I can just squeeze it out from the tube itself. Yeah, that's good. great afternoon snack. All right, let's give this a whirl. It's pretty good, actually. And I'm glad that was in there because I was looking for some small kind of tube of squeezy cheese. Not like a huge bottle, you know, just something real small to bring with. Couldn't find anything like that online. Maybe it's more of a thing in Europe. Some of the camping guys I watch from over there, I don't know. But I wasn't expecting this to be in the pack, and this is a pleasant surprise. I've got to say, that was a really good afternoon snack. And I wasn't sure how the jalapeno cheese was going to be, but I really liked that. The heat was just right. Great surprise. The jam and crackers went really well with this coffee. I'm just going to finish up this cup and enjoy some good scenery and relax. Might take a nap. All right, I'm going to give this MRE a try. I've already got it kind of prepped. So I just have the meal itself inside of this outer bag, and there's a heater pouch inside, and it's telling me just to pour water to the fill lines and then hold it straight up for a minute and then put it at an angle for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just make sure. Okay, so this is going to create a chemical reaction, and I need to be careful because it's going to get very hot. Alright, so I held it straight for 1 minute, and now I'm supposed to let it sit at an angle for about 15 minutes. Alright, let's see what we got here. It's been 15 minutes, so let's check it out. Okay, yeah, it does feel warm to the touch. I think that's a good thing. So then it says we can tear it at this lower perforation, and we can get the MRE out. Yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't feel super warm. Might have to heat it up in my pot. Smells good. Yeah, it's still cold, so I'll probably just heat it up in my pot. Alright, so I went ahead and heated it up the rest of the way on my backpacking stove, and now I've got it nice and piping hot, and all is well. Cheers. How's it going?
How are you, man?
Good. Yeah, it's good. There's a little flurry of whatever those things are. Hopefully they'll buzz around a little bit and then buzz off. All right, I've cleaned up, finished dinner, got the dishes done, so now we can just relax and enjoy the night. I'm going to start it off with the lemon poppy seed pound cake, and I went ahead and made another cup of coffee. I think that'll be a nice after dinner dessert. So it's kind of circle shaped. It's soft like a muffin. Smells good. Yeah, that's really good. Good morning. I slept pretty good last night. Wasn't as cool as the first night. Got down into the mid-50s. The big difference was my tent was on flat ground here. At the first site, I was on a hill, and I made the best of it, but it doesn't feel great. So sleeping on flat ground was excellent. I got up pretty early today, but I did that on purpose because I wanted to get an early start. I'm gonna cook up some organic just add water pancakes from Birch Benders, and I brought some dried fruit with me, a tiny glass bottle of maple syrup. That'll be awesome. I'll have a cup or two of coffee, and then I'll be able to pack up early and head back because I know that the hike is going to be long today, and this allows me time to take breaks and not feel like I'm in a rush. This has been a great place to camp. You can just see all the way across the lake. I can see campfires last night and this morning. It just looks like a little tiny flickering dot of orange. It's really cool to see. brought this little tiny oil with me, but you may be able to see it says garlic oil, and as soon as I poured that into the pan, I could just smell the garlic. So hopefully I like garlic pancakes. I had to put the pancakes on the backpacking stove to finish them off. They just weren't cooking fast enough on the hot coals. I guess my hot coals weren't hot enough, but the backpacking stove got the job done. So we're gonna have some very messy pancakes with garlic flavor, but I do have my tiny maple syrup with me. We should be able to overcome some of that garlic with. Yeah, you can definitely taste the garlic. I wouldn't say it's overwhelming. It's almost like when you cook hash browns. You're eating hash browns, but you've got maple syrup in the meal as well, so it still tastes like breakfast. My favorite part of cleaning up on the final day of camping is just take all the dirty dishes and put them in a bag. And don't bother washing them at the campsite because it's much easier to clean them at home anyways. Well, I'm all packed up. I'm ready to head out. I'm gonna just get started on my hike. It's just 10 minutes to 9 o'clock, so I'll be able to take my time. And it's been a great camp. Actually, this whole Eagles Roost area is one big outcropping of sandstone. I'm pretty sure it's the Woodbine sandstone, which is famous in North Texas. So it looked like it was going to be hard ground to sleep on, but it being made out of sand, it was a lot softer than you would have thought. But there's also sand all over everything. My tent and all those things I'm going to have to clean off when I get home. But this was definitely a great spot. I'm glad I got to camp here once. Now I can say that I've done it, enjoyed the views. Didn't get to see the sunrise today because of the clouds, but the sunset was fantastic and the moonrise was really great. Well, I'm headed out. It's been a great trip. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Get out there.